Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to World Radio Part 23. It's February 22nd, 2025. Actually, it's the 23rd now, but logically it's the 22nd. B2gm and miniKanren. Overall topic. Still reading too much news. It's hard to avoid, but it's not been putting me in a good mood. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. But two weekends ago, I guess, I embraced my boredom and was taking a break from the January experiment of indulging myself into all my extracurricular activities outside of work, where I was just, picking up oil painting and playing with the digital audio workstation and learning 4 or 5 programming languages at once and all that stuff. And then for February, 2 weekends ago, I thought, all right, kind of bored. I am going to just allow myself to be bored. And out of that boredom came this idea that, a realization of this idea I've been thinking about for a dozen years or so, which is a Bronze to Grandmaster series, miniKanren, based on StarCraft b2gm series. So I've made 9 of those videos. I think it's about 16 hours worth between those 9 videos, where I, talk about what I think would be the StarCraft-ish equivalent of micro and macro and laddering and all those things, but in the context of miniKanren and scheme and programming languages and research and all that. So I made 9 videos, 9 days in a row. I was wondering how long I'd go before I wasn't able to make a video. It turns out 9 days. That was probably good to take a little break. And also some people were like, well, it's good to have a break so we could catch up, because, if I make 16 hours of videos and over 9 days, that's kind of asking a lot for even enthusiastic people to try to, watch like two and a half hours of me talking about making StarCraft analogies for research or rock climbing analogies. Yeah. So that's been kind of fun. Last few days been hard to make videos, so that didn't really happen, although I did want to get in one video tonight. And I hope to do a b2gm video tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, I guess today, Sunday, but you know what I mean. After I go to sleep and wake up. Yeah. So January was very exciting. I was trying to do all these things. It was exhausting, but it was exciting. February, once I started making those videos, that had another type of excitement where I was trying to make these videos each day, and, some of them were fairly long. Last few days, I haven't made any videos, so I've been, I don't know. I guess when I'm doing something like that, if I take a break, either intentionally or because of other circumstances, I tend to get kind of bored. Doing little reading, little light reading, watching ArtosisCasts each day, and watching ViBE's 2021 Bronze Grandmaster series for Zerg. One reason I'm watching this is, well, if I'm going to do a b2gm series, I should, watch a series and make sure that I have some of those ideas fresh in my head for the analogies. I've also been laddering a little, been playing some StarCraft on ladder, StarCraft 2. I'm back in low platinum. My highest, I was in high platinum years ago. what's low, what's the skill level of low platinum versus high platinum years ago? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But I've never gotten past platinum. So one interesting thing is I'm in low platinum using ViBE's bronze build. You don't scout, you only make hydra lists, all that sort of thing. So that it is absolutely true that if you just macro, you definitely can get through into platinum just doing that. And so next time I do I also haven't laddered the last few days. If the next time I do a little laddering, I'll probably use his silver build where you do a little lightweight scouting just to see if there's an expo. If your opponent expands, great. If not, if your opponent doesn't expand by the time your expansion hatchery is up, then throw down a spine crawler. And then later in the game, make a lurker den. I started playing StarCraft 2 before they've had lurkers in StarCraft 2, so that's a little I gotta get used to doing lurkers in StarCraft 2. So I do kind of miss the excitement. So last couple days I've been just been missing it. So I have been thinking, well, what do I want to do in March? Okay, so I've been thinking maybe I'll do monthly experiments. I'll do, so January I did an experiment, and that got me started in the oil painting. And that got me playing around with the DAW every day. And it got me, making videos again on a daily basis. So that, there were some positive things. There were also some negative. It didn't work completely well. But, in March, excuse me. So I've been thinking, what do I want to do in March? So I like to continue the b2gm series in miniKanren. I'm not sure how long I would want to continue that. I was doing some calculations. So ViBE, I think, has 22 videos for Zerg for his 2021. And he's got Zerg, Terran, and Protoss. 2 of the videos, I think, are generic videos. So probably 20 for each of those. So like probably 60-ish videos. And some of those videos are like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So well over 100 hours if you looked across, Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. So let's call it 120 to 150 hours. And so I'm, 16 hours in? So, I feel like, I could be 10% in, I guess. I could imagine maybe making 100 of these videos. I'm not sure. Right now, as long as I'm having fun with them, that's the important thing. But, I guess the difference here is, the GM in miniKanren is, okay, do original research. Right? Do a little, push the state of the art in relational programming and constraint logic programming. That's kind of the end game there. Maybe that'd be equivalent to going pro. I'm not sure, but it doesn't have to be, right? You don't get paid for it. So, that could go on indefinitely. Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this for the most part. I actually find it more, I think it goes better when I actually do make the analogies to StarCraft. There's sometimes where I'm just like, well, I don't know. Talk about StarCraft so weird in the context of scheme and miniKanren. Maybe I should just make it sort of a straight scheme miniKanren thing. It's like, nah, StarCraft analogies are good. I'm enjoying that. And, I feel like I'm unstuck at least. I felt stuck trying to write the book. Whereas this, I don't feel stuck. It's more like, well, what does that mean? What's the equivalent? What's the equivalent of a silver build? Or what are the silver level priorities or the bronze level priorities? I do definitely have some ideas about these things. So it's interesting to think about it myself and try to refine that. I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. It's not like I planned this out, 3 episodes in advance or something. It's more like, okay, what did I talk about last time? Do I want to amend any of that or elaborate on any of that, or do I want to just keep going? So these are really one episode at a time type thing, because I'm, like I said, I have thought about this a lot, and I certainly have taught Scheme and miniKanren to a lot of people, but this is different, right? I don't have someone in front of me. It's not interactive in the same way. So, and also I'm making the StarCraft analogy. Yeah, I don't know. It's combining things I love, so that's fun. And then, so I want to keep that up in March. I'm not sure at what intensity, like I've said before, some days I can make videos and other days it's just hard, or there's some days I'm just not going to feel about it. Feel like doing it. Probably has to do with how much news I watch. If I watch too much news, I'll probably either really want to make a video or not want to make a video. But yeah, so I'm going to continue with that and continue laddering, start crafting some. Didn't take me long to get back in the low plat, by the way. It's like, okay, I haven't really played that much for a long time, but once you get to platinum level and you know how to macro a little, you're not going to stay in bronze. You're just, you're above that. People in bronze have no idea how to macro at all, which is one of the things you get from ViBE series. I probably have high plat macro, and I've got almost no micro. so I definitely am losing to various cheeses. But my macro is my strong point, so I'll just keep working on that. So I'll keep crafting a little bit, not super intense. And then the thing I'd like to lean into is doing some more music. So I was playing around with the DAW, making horrible noises, and that was okay. I often did it when I was very tired, and I'd do it for like 10 minutes or something. And it became sort of repetitive after a while. I was like, I feel like I'm plateauing right now. I'm gonna have to invest more time in understanding it or thinking about what I want to do more. But I definitely have a lot more time in using Logic Pro now than I did for the first year I had the program. I basically opened that program up once or twice and got overwhelmed, and then it's like, forget it. So I'm not overwhelmed anymore. I don't know how to use much of it, but there is some stuff I know how to do in it. I've enough of a base where I could start learning how to use it probably for other things. But now I feel like, I've been listening to a lot of 80s music. I don't know. Somehow I feel like we're entering the 80s again. Oh, wow. Back to the 80s. I've been listening to a lot of 80s music and listening to, was it Grand Theft Auto, Vice City soundtrack, stuff like that. I'm very much a child of the 80s. I mean, I'm a child of the 70s, really, but 80s were sort of very formative for me. And so I love the synth sound of 80s music. So that's something I'd like to play around with and talk to my brother about it. He had some suggestions. I even asked Claude for some suggestions. And my brother's like, just noodle around, play a lot, play some riffs that you like. So there are a bunch of YouTube videos on, classic 80s synth riffs, that type of thing. So I could play around with that. I've been listening to a lot of Jay Giles Band. Actually, Jay Giles Band from the 70s was awesome. I didn't know this. I always thought of them as like not a one-hit wonder, but a two-hit wonder. They did Freeze, Frame and Centerfold were their two big hits in the 80s. And I didn't know anything about the band really other than those two things that were on MTV all the time. But actually in the 70s, they were like an awesome kind of jam band. They changed styles a few times. They were like blues and like I guess a rock jam band. And then they became, I guess, more pop in the 80s. But yeah, been listening to that, and it's just, you know, classic 80s Duran, all that. Yeah, so I think I like to play around with that. I've got, I think, 4 synthesizers I've accumulated right now, hardware synths, and then this oversized MIDI keyboard that's always getting in my way. So I don't know. I've tried learning keyboard. I've tried learning like piano, all self-instructed. I could tell you with the trying to take like a piano course is the same problem when I was trying to learn classical guitar. Yeah, I had an instructor for that. It wasn't very intense, but it was like, you know, why don't you play Scarborough Fair or whatever? Here we're going to play this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to play that. I want to play Metallica. I don't know, whatever it was. I was like not into what we were playing at all. That's been one of the problems with trying to take some of these keyboard or piano courses online. Like, here's the sheet music for, you know, I don't know, Jingle Bell Rock or something. Well, fine, Jingle Bell Rock is fine. I don't have any problem with Jingle Bell Rock, but it's not really like what's going to get me out of the bed in the morning to play Jingle Bell Rock. So I'm hoping, yeah, one of my friends, I asked, like, well, how do I get into music? And they said, well, just pick a song that you really want to play and just practice it, you know, like learn how to play that song. So yeah, I tried doing some other things with guitar. Guitars I had trouble getting into because, you know, like calluses, you need calluses if you're going to play electric guitar, at least, you know, if your fingers aren't going to scream, all that. And then trying to figure out how in the world the fretboard works. So I don't know. I think 80s synth, you know, this may be my speed. So that's what I like to do on March is, you know, keep going with the b2gm, keep crafting a little, like kind of lightly, not, you know, if I play every few days, play a few games, I think that's fine. Or, you know, if I played every day, like maybe 2 or 3 games, you know, that's about it. But I probably won't play every day. And then, you know, do some synth keyboard stuff. And for this, I probably won't make videos for the keyboard. I just want to play around. Yeah, I don't know, maybe if at some point I'd make videos, but I think I'm just going to focus on trying to figure out how to play like little riffs. So yeah, that's my plan. Let's see what comes after March. April. So let's see if this is fun. You know, in April, you know, maybe look at the physics stuff again. There might be an April experiment. It's like, okay, I tried doing everything at once, but that didn't work that well. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep doing the keyboard stuff. Maybe if I'm having fun. I mean, that's the main thing, you know. Main goal is to get to the point where I'm having fun with the keyboard. I've never gotten to the point where I actually had fun playing any musical instrument. I was always just never got to that point. So yeah, that's my real goal. So I don't know. Maybe April I keep doing the keyboard if that's fun. Don't know. We'll see. But I would like to get, let's see. So we have physics, Japanese, keyboard, logic programming stuff. Read up on logic programming literature. I don't know. Oil painting. Right. FPGA. Yeah. Lots of things could do, for sure. But I do feel a desire to play around with the keyboard. The fact that I've got a little instrument too. So I've got like 6 keyboards of various sorts, like musical keyboards in my room. It's like, maybe there's a hint that I want to do something, right? Yeah. So it's sort of like a hint that I want to write a book. I keep starting books and not finishing them. So interestingly enough, writing a book didn't come up there. Why didn't it come up? I guess as long as I'm continuing to b2gm and miniKanren, that's scratching an itch, and also maybe a book comes out of that somehow. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can approach MIT Press and say, hey, I've got this idea of a book. This is going to be a StarCraft-based instruction in miniKanren. I don't know if that'd be a big seller. Yeah. Well, got some people on Discord talking a little bit about stuff, and also people have made some comments on YouTube, which I appreciate all that. Not a huge number of people, but probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 people have made some sort of comment, or have joined the Discord, or I don't know, something like that. Probably fewer than 10 if you counted up everyone. But it's not 0, and it's more than 1, so enough to give me a little boost where it's like, okay, there are at least some people who seem interested in this, and there are a few people who dig the StarCraft vibe. So that's fun. At least there's one person who there are at least 2 people I think who like the StarCraft part. Probably more than 2. So as long as that's fun, I'll keep it. So yeah, that's what's going on. So I hope to make a b2gm video tomorrow, and I'll probably start playing with the keyboard. I might play with the keyboard a little tomorrow, just to start getting into it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, here it is. So here's the keyboard for March, but no reason I have to wait till March, right? Yeah, so I might start playing around with that a little bit. Okay, I hope you all are doing well, and I hope to see you in the next b2gm and miniKanren if you're following that series. Yeah. All right, take care. Talk to you soon.